Hello everyone, Mary here again. Today we are going to do the third video about easy to prepare speaking activities for online lessons. So if you haven't watched my other two videos, please do it. And please, if you can, just hit the subscribe button so I can continue filming these videos. All right, so we are talking about very simple activities for speaking lessons and activities that are going to be fun, engaging, interesting, so they will get your students talking. Right, so this one today, we are not going to use many websites. We are going to use just minimal resources. So you are going to need 5 minutes to prepare these activities prior to your lesson, and maybe even less, because if you prepare this once, you can use for loads of different students. So let's go and see what we've got in store for today. So the first activity I would like to talk about today is your business pitch. That's how I call it. So basically, this activity, first thing I'm going to do is ask the student if they know what a pitch is, because sometimes they don't. So I'm going to explain to them that a pitch is a short presentation where you can try to sell a product, an idea, or just trying to get approval from an entrepreneur or a company or someone that you're trying to convince. If they are, I do have loads of students that are studying business, okay, so they are adults, they are very interested in business TV shows. So what I do is I just stop the lesson for a second, I go on YouTube and I talk to them about Dragon's Den. I don't know if you've heard about this program. Dragon's Den is a very, very famous program in the UK and in Ireland as well. And basically, I know there is an equivalent, there is a very similar one in the United States. I think it's called the Shark's Tank, if I'm not mistaken. So basically, what this program is about is there are 5 millionaires and they are ready to invest some money on people. So these people, they've got products, ideas, companies, and they need their money, they need investment. So they go to this place, they take their product with them. So for example, this guy here, they take their product, they do their pitch, they do their presentation, they talk about values, they talk about how much money they are making, they talk about, the packing, everything about the product, and they try to convince these millionaires to invest money on them. So why do I show them this program? First thing, amazing program for advanced students, amazing TV show for people that are studying business, and very, very, very nice one for them to understand how to do this short presentation and how to sell something that you want to sell. So what I do is 5 minutes before the lesson, I just go on Google and I look for an image, random object. It can be anything, basically. Of course, if your student has an interest, a special interest, you can choose an object that is similar to their interest. If not, it can be as random as a colorful umbrella. So what I tell them is they've got about 3 minutes to prepare. It depends on the student, but I don't give them a lot of time. Otherwise, if I'm using this as a warm-up, it doesn't make sense. So I give them about 3 to 4 minutes to think about it. And they will have to tell me, they will have to try to convince me to buy this product. So I'm always telling them, I need to know what's the product? I want to know the price. So how much are you going to be charging for one retail, or if I buy it bulk, if I buy 200 of the product, how much the price is going to be? I ask for why is this product unique? Why is your umbrella different? So what are the special features about your product? Okay, so I also ask them the uses. So I know that I can use this when it's raining, but what else? What else can I do with this product? So this activity is very engaging because they really have to think. They go out of their comfort zone and they talk like very funny things. It's always the same with all students. We laugh a lot because they start saying like, oh, this is a magic umbrella. Or if we are talking about another product. So I've got, for example, this chair here. So they told, no, this was the chair of the queen. So it's incredible to see the imagination of human beings. So let it flow, don't interrupt. Just let them talk what they want to talk, and then you can ask questions. Okay, Nice one. You work loads of things there. You work fluency. Of course, you can also make notes. You can make notes of the mistakes, of the pronunciation errors, and then you can go back to them. Try to not interrupt the pitch, you know, because if you do it, of course, people sometimes they just their mind go blank. They don't remember what they were talking about. So yeah, just try, you know, to take notes of the mistakes and things you want to comment or ask, and ask after the pitch. Okay, so let's see number two. Number two is, would you lie to me? So that's my name for this activity. So what I do is I go to any website where I can find controversial statements. So for example, I can put there controversial statements, ESL, and you are going to find plenty of websites. So one that I really like is this one here. Discussion topics for agreeing and disagreeing. So that's the one I'm using on my slide. So you can find loads of statements here about general topics, or if you want something more specific, look, we've got crime discussion, we've got gender issue discussions, we've got loads of different topics. So what I do is I just copy some of them. I just take, you know, some ideas, and then we are going to do the agree, disagree thing. But is not a typical agree, disagree, because this is a bit boring. Students are very used to it. So what I do is, if they agree with a statement, they will have to disagree. And this can be so funny. You can't imagine how funny this gets, because the brain kind of is very tricky. It's very, very tricky, because if I say, for example, violence is necessary, well, 99%, I'm assuming, of people are going to say, no, violence is not necessary. But then they have to say the opposite. They have to say, yes, I agree with that. Violence is very necessary. So for example, if my mother is cooking, I don't like what she's doing, I can use violence. So, oh my God, I had so many good moments, you know, with this activity, because, and sometimes they start telling me the truth, the real opinion, and they get lost. They're like, oh my God, no, I should be talking about not my real opinion. So very funny. And you know that when something is funny, when an activity is fun, usually people tend to memorize better and to remember better, you know, because you are not just teaching the boring way, you are just giving them a momentum, you know, an experience, a moment. So it's much more likely that they are going to remember the words, and they are going to use their fluence and try to convince you. Okay, so this is activity number 2 for today. Let's see the third one. So the third one is interview for unusual jobs. Again, this takes me 5 minutes to prepare. What I do is I go on Google and I look for weird, unusual jobs. In this case, I picked 3: bicycle fisher, passenger pusher, and professional cuddler. My first thing is to ask them, do you know what these professions are? Maybe some people have heard of passenger pusher, because apparently it's a bit common in some Asian countries. So if you've got like a train station and the train station is too crowded, too busy, there is someone there that is just there to push people inside the train. Okay, so I asked them first, oh, can you imagine what is a bicycle fisher? If they are from the Netherlands, probably they are going to know, because apparently loads of bicycles fall down to the canals, and people, they are hired to go and fish these bicycles. So I'm going to ask them first. If they don't know, I just give them a brief information, you know, some brief information, some brief specific information about the profession. And then I'm going to pretend we are going to do a job interview. So they have to choose, for example, which one would you like to be? And maybe someone is going to say, well, I would love to be a professional cuddler. You know, that sounds very nice, very romantic. So I say, okay, amazing. So you are applying for a job as a professional cuddler. Now you are going to answer my interview questions. So we start the interview. First one, for example, these are random questions that I take from Google, or I just think about them. So why should we hire you? Remember that even if your student is an engineer or an architect, We are talking about the position of a professional cuddler. Okay, so why should we hire you? Well, maybe you should hire me because I'm very romantic. I've got big hands. I'm very good. My skin is very soft. So it's very funny because they have to think about what qualities they have that can be useful for that specific job. Okay, so again, we have a great time with this activity and loads of vocabulary, loads of new words come up from it. We can work on fluency as well. So how does this job fit into your career aspirations? Oh my God, if you're going to be a professional cuddler, what can be your aspiration? I don't know. So they have to think about it. And you go together with the student on this ride. And of course, for sure, you're going to laugh a lot. They're going to feel very comfortable. So you see, these activities are nice, very, very nice as warm-ups, because this is the period of the lesson that you really need your student to let it go, to get into English mood, because sometimes they are so busy with their daily lives, sometimes they are so stressed. So it takes then a bit of time to get into the class. So if you start with something fun, with something nice, interesting, for sure they are going to relax a bit and be able to talk. Okay, then let's go to number 4. Fantasy versus real life. So believe me, this works with adults as well. It's not for children, only for children or for teenagers. This works for everyone, because if we talk about Snow White, for example, most people, they know the story. Maybe they don't know the details, but they do know the story. So she's got 7 dwarfs, she lives in the forest. So what I do is, first thing, I ask them to pick one of the characters. So you can put whatever you want here. So I chose these 4. So basically I just go on Google, chose photos, copy the photos, and that's it. So first I'm going to ask them, okay, what's the name of the first one? This is the one that you chose, right? Okay, so, oh, this is Snow White. So please, can you tell me the story of Snow White? And they are going to do it. So they will have to talk. And it's nice because it's just general knowledge. Some people, they don't even know they have this knowledge, but they do, because we have always been exposed to this kind of cartoons, films, and stuff like that. So they tell me the story. I can ask them punctual, I can ask them specific questions about the story, fun, nice things. I can ask, different things about the story. And then, for example, oh, so Snow White, do you know the names of the dwarfs? Oh, there is one that he's always like that. So, oh, grumpy. So do you know the meaning of grumpy? So you see, you can introduce vocabulary as well. And what is nice is that after they tell me the story, I ask them to tell me what they think these characters could be in real life. So Snow White, if she was a real person nowadays, what could she be? Maybe a pie taster, or maybe a cook, because I know did she eat an apple? Yeah, I think so. So basically, you take the clues they give you during their presentation, and then you ask them questions. Rapunzel or Pinocchio or Spider-Man. So maybe this guy nowadays in real life, he could be a maintenance guy, because he can go very, very high. He can go to the top of the buildings. He can do things that other people can't. So what do you think? What would be the profession? What would be being Spider-Man nowadays? Okay, so of course it works very well for children. Of course, you're not going to use this for your business students. Well, it depends, everything depends. But it is a very, very nice, engaging activity, and you don't talk. This is the important thing about these activities. They talk, right? You don't have to prepare much, and they do the work. They talk, okay? And then the last one for today is film review plus new engines. So this works a bit like the book activity. If you've seen my second video about the speaking activities, we were talking about the favorite book. So basically, very basic, I just asked them about their favorite film or the last film. Especially, it doesn't need to be a film, it can be a series. For example, with Netflix, everyone has Netflix, and they do, especially teenagers, they know the series, they know, the Stranger Things. So you can ask them to explain to you. So you can even Google. So basically, let's say they say, well, my favorite series nowadays is Love is Blind. So you go on Google with them. You can see a photo of the TV show or image, sorry. You can see an image of it, and they have to explain to you. So you go, oh, okay. So even if you know, pretend you don't. That's what I always do. You know, even if you know the story of Snow White, even if you know the book, if you know the film, let them talk. Because sometimes we teachers, we do have this need to be talking all the time. You know, the silence is not a very nice thing for us, but let them think and let them talk. So, oh, don't say, oh my God, I've seen this one. Yeah, this is about, so these guys are together. No. So you tell me, so what is this thing about? What is this series about? All right, so that's very nice. So, oof, would you go to a TV program like that? Would you like to be in this situation? So ask questions, okay, and let them talk. After that, ask them to do a review. So basically, what's your opinion about it? If you had to write, for example, a review for a newspaper, would it be a positive one or a negative one? And the best part that they really, really like is, okay, so the film, it was a science fiction film. At the end, everyone was dead. It was terrible. So let's try to create a new ending. So if you could change the end of the film, what would be the end, right? So again, nice, because they get out of their comfort zone. They really have to be creative. They have to imaginate. And these activities, what I really, really love about them is that these activities are taking them out of their reality. So even if the students, sometimes they do start lessons with students that are very, very stressed, or overwhelmed, or sad, or depressed, and then we start talking about so random things, and they have to think about things they've never thought before. So they get so engaged, and after 1 hour they go like, oh my God, is the lesson gone? So this is what you want to hear. If you are an online teacher, you don't want to be checking on your phone every 5 minutes, like, oh my God, yeah, he's not talking, or what can I do for this teenager to talk? Because I asked them, oh, I asked the guy, how was your weekend? Good. And what did you do yesterday? Yeah, I went to school. So that's not really the way, you see. So that's why I try always to start with this very random, amazing, fun activities, so people can really get engaged. And as I was saying in another video, so if your students trust you, so if they feel confident with you, they are going to talk more. And that's what we need. We need them to talk. Okay, so that was it for today. I hope this video helped. I'm not editing my video, so I'm really sorry for any strange things. All right, so if you can hit the subscribe button, this would help me a lot. I'm just planning to, I'm planning on doing other videos about creative activities for grammar, pronunciation, and this kind of stuff. So if you are an online teacher and if you need ideas, please follow me. Okay, so thanks a lot, guys.